All right. So this time I had a question from a student who's in a really challenging curriculum, and she's having to do rates and proportional relationships. And so the question that she's getting tripped up on, and I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with, so this is not easy, which has the greater rate of change? And then you see a graph and you see an equation, and you're supposed to compare the two things, and they look so different. And so you want to make it into things that you can actually compare and see the difference or how they're alike. And so let's start with the equation. On the equation here, y equals 2.7x. The rate of change is what is happening to y every time x changes at a certain rate. So if x increases by 1, y is increasing 2.7 times that. And so that's our rate of change there. As we look at the graph, the rate of change, we can see it a couple of different ways. If we look, we can pick a couple of points that land on nice little cross marks here. And so we've got like this point to this point. So it's rising 1 and running 1. That means that every time x increases by 1, y also increases by 1. If we go up 1 here, we're increasing 1 here. As we go to the right one, we land again. If we go up 1, we're right back on the graph. And so we see that we have a rate of change of 1 for y to x. And so when we look at these, this is the greater rate of change because 2.7 is greater than 1. So that's one way to do it. You could also pick points on this graph. Like there are so many points that land right on nice little cross marks. Like this point is 3, 0. And let's do this point. This point is at 2, -1. Okay, so 3, 0 and 2, -1. If you have learned the slope formula, because the slope and the rate of change here are the same, then you can always do that. That's where you subtract your y's over subtract your x's. And so this just means, whoops, I put y2 minus y2. y2 minus y1 there. Sorry. Let's make that clearer. This is not easy. I don't want it to be confusing. y2 minus y sub 1. Okay. So that means the second y is -1 minus the first one is 0. And then the second x is 2 minus the first one is 3. And so -1 minus 0, that's -1. 2 minus 3, that's -1. Negative divided by negative is positive, and 1 divided by 1 is 1. So that's another way to get our rate of change of 1. So the rate of change is greater at the y equals 2.7x. All right. We can do more on those. Let me know if you have questions on that, and I'll work on some more of those for you. Let me know. See you next time.